say, tranquilo, hombres, por favor. Calm down.
Right, so episode 21. Here we go.
Can't believe we were in 21.
It's been an amazing. I've had an awesome week. Last night we wrapped up the group stages of the pool. It was actually, I to be honest, I wasn't really looking forward to it because, you know, I just kind of want to get on to the next stage. But it turned out to be a cracking evening.
Every evening with regards to the pool tournament, a bit of cracking evening, to be honest with you.
It didn't disappoint. Like, Dennis was outstanding.
Oh, Dennis!
What a game.
Special mention to Dennis, man. He beat Nick 3-2. And he played a fucking blinder.
Amazing pool. Yeah. And he was hyped as well afterwards. We played a game of killer and he was like, I do suck. And he was like shouting at me, you suck.
It's the best I've ever seen him play ever.
It's brilliant. So anyway, let's move on to room 101.
Okay. Are you ready to go?
Room 101. Yeah, we're rolling.
All right, fine. Okay. What, we're recording this? What have you got for me? Sorry, mate. I am distracted.
Put it away.
I'm sorry.
We have to do it again.
All right, yeah, I'll put it away. Okay, sorry. Go on, room 101. What's been annoying
Room 101.
What's been annoying this week?
Okay, so
how's it going?
I have a long list of room 101s, but I decided to go and find a few people because we haven't put a person in room 101 since.
Am I the only person who's put a person
You
in?
are the only person that has put a person into room 101.
That guy is a massive cunt as well.
Jeff Dunham. I'm going to put in another, in my opinion. Look, this is also low hanging fruit as well, to be honest with you. Who I'm putting into room 101 this week, or trying to put into room 101, is going to be James English. Now, for those of you that don't know who James English is, and I'm going to make a little disclaimer as well, right? James English is a podcaster. He's from Scotland. I think it's Glasgow, Scotland. Before I go any further, I will give him credit. His podcast
is amazing.
Yeah. He does a cracking job. Yeah, he has amazing guests. He started off where it was all just like criminals and stuff like that. But he's progressed into like, you know, ex-football players, ex-boxers, porn stars, everything. And it's well produced. I'm not shitting on his podcast. His podcast is amazing.
He did one, I don't know if it's recent, but he did one with Jimmy White. Brilliant.
Yeah, I haven't seen that one yet. I've stopped watching him, and this is why I want to put him in. James English, like again, his podcast is amazing, but James English, there's nobody loves James English more than James English, is basically what I'm saying. His ego is like so massive, like that. Even that, like when he's talking to, even like his thumbnails, he puts out like little posts on YouTube to say that there's a video coming and stuff. And like the recent one was, I think he's doing Paul Merson, and it was captioned like my struggle with addiction. Like
in his defense,
I know he's
like
probably,
that might be the title, as in like Paul Merson, my struggles.
Yeah, but it was, you know
what I mean?
Paul Merson was mentioned like afterwards, right? So it was my struggle with addiction. This podcast is with Paul Merson or whatever. I know he's talking about Paul Merson's, but also he's also probably talking about his own struggle with addiction or whatever. Right?
Of course he is.
And then it's like I think we've spoken about this before, not on the podcast, but if you sift down through we're probably going to get a load of hate because of this. But look, whatever, it's a free world in my eyes.
I think you already know that.
I have already given him credit that his podcast is outstanding. Yeah. However. Yeah. He needs to fucking get down off his high horse again, because like everything is always about him. Like it's like that one, and then anytime he always like does this like I'm a psychologist almost thing, like, and he's like, oh, I think you have this problem because maybe when you were a kid you were raped by a cat or whatever, and you're just like, fucking look, just leave them talk, like, you know. Again, I feel a bit bad doing it because it is a good podcast, but it's just him, like. And then recently, he's like, he did this. I'm assuming it was a boxing match. I didn't watch it. He posted some pictures that he was in a fight and he won it. Fair play to him for doing that. But
no,
like,
he was
why?
doing that because he was talking about it with Jimmy White. How he was training for his
was
fight.
it boxing? Was it?
Yeah.
Okay. Again, look, what Chris D'Elia touched on this recently as well. Why, when certain YouTubers reach a certain level of success, do they have to go and box people?
Yeah, what is with that?
Like, fucking Jake Paul, or the Paul brothers are doing it. KCI is doing. They're all fucking fighting each other. Like, what's that about? Like, and then the other thing I noticed that he's from Glasgow. He should be a pasty motherfucker like me and you. He's now tanned up to the gills, right? So he's obviously on the sunbeds as well.
He looks like Apu recently.
He does. He does. But and then also I noticed he's doing this homeless documentary thing that I had to turn off after 5 minutes because, like, of course homelessness is a big issue and we need to fix that stuff. But he's done it that he's on the streets himself. And again, I can imagine the first 5 minutes I watched of it, it was like, it's all about him, like, you know what I mean? So I felt the need that we need to put a person in there. We've put in a lot of items and digital stuff, and I just felt that we need to put in another person.
Well, I think when you said low-hanging fruit, and now I know what you mean because you know what I'm going to say.
Yeah. Basically, I know, like, if Finn doesn't put this into Room 101, he's doing it to annoy me. So.
Yeah, basically, yeah. You know, we've spoken about this many times, and like, yeah, I like what you said. You know, the guests he has on are fascinating people. You know, he gets fascinating people on.
Amazing
to talk to.
Yeah,
and I can actually sit through like easily a 2-hour podcast of his.
Yeah,
in spite of him.
Yeah, that's like every time, like, and like in fairness to him, he even words questions well. He asks the right questions, but it's just like
he's so pleased with himself.
Yeah, and like 95% of it is awesome, and then there's just this 5% of it is just like, shut the hell up, man, will you? It's just like, you did not need to tell me that you got two girls pregnant at the same time.
Yeah.
It was, or that you know, I battled with addiction. Okay, we know. We've listened to like 100 of your podcasts. We already know you have that. You know, don't make it about you. You should never make, like, I think good interviewers never bring themselves into it unless like there's like, oh yeah, that happened to me as well, or something like that. But then just leave it at that. You know what I mean?
Well, I would say, like, you know, maybe even, I guess, I'm sure he's talked to his guests beforehand, and they've obviously got to know each other a little bit, maybe.
Yeah. No, they definitely.
But I would say, like, if the guest said to you, like, you know, I don't know if you understand this, but when you're like high, when you're addicted to cocaine, blah blah blah, and then he could say, you know, actually, I do understand that, but it's not really like that. It's more like, when can I get in my problems with addiction?
Exactly.
You know,
and I have to give Finn a bit of a shout out. He does a cracking impression. Give us the zero fucks given one.
honestly, Jimmy, I just at that point in my life, I just had a zero fucks given mentality, Jimmy. You know what I mean?
Brilliant.
I know. I do send you a lot of audio messages because he just like he's one of those people like yeah. Sometimes I just can't understand. I feel like, am I not seeing something?
No, and that's the thing. We've discussed it. Maybe
wrong? I don't know. Maybe I am.
Me and Finn like discuss it a lot because I think we are on that, like, fucking hell, it's a great podcast, but you know, and then we kind of have this moment
of the comments.
Is it only me and him? Is it only me and Finn that thinks he's a twat? Because you go down through the comments and there's nothing but positivity, which is good. For him, I'm delighted that there's nobody shitting on him. And I'm not saying like people go and shit on him, right? I'm not saying that. But, and then you also notice that he only likes the comments where somebody says like, cracking podcast, you're doing a great job. He likes them ones, or anything a female says, he's like likes. She could just go, James, you're a big twat, and he'll hit like, right? So, well, fair play, right?
Cheers, sweetheart.
But like, you know, be consistent. If somebody says something like, and as I said, there's almost no negative comments in this thing. But like, if there's somebody says something that's like about the topic or something, he never likes that one. You know what I mean?
It's always if someone says, "Oh, James, you're doing an amazing job. I love this podcast, and you're brilliant."
Yeah.
He'll like heart it. or you know, smiley face, or you know, cheers, kisses, whatever the fuck, and it's so noticeable that, like, you know how much I love reading comments. I know we've put comments into Room 101 before, but you know it's one of my... Whenever I'm watching a video on YouTube, I'm also scrolling through the comments.
Oh,
it's one of my favourite things in the world. You know?
And that's another thing I want to actually kind of shit on YouTube a little bit. I noticed that YouTube have taken the thumbs down, the total of, you know, there's a like and the dislike button. The dislike button is still there, but it doesn't show you how many dislikes it gets anymore. It just says dislike. Now the person can actually check to see it, all right. I get what they're doing. They don't want to have like this bullying culture or whatever else, but then just take the button away completely in my eyes, right? But I used to use, if I think a video is a bit clickbaity, the first thing I do is I look at the likes to dislike ratio, and if the dislike ratio is high, that it's just clickbait.
If there's obviously been a concerted effort amongst the YouTube community to dislike something, you know this video's not what it's not
what it's advertised as. Like, and the other thing is that the other one that I used to go to then immediately afterwards, if I still had my doubts, especially if it's like podcasts are long, you know, you have to invest like an hour of your time or 2 hours or whatever. The other one is I'll flash down through the comments as well. But with James English ones, it's impossible to tell because everything's just like, I love you, James. I love you, James.
Well, let's go back to that because that's...
And I'm not shitting on any of those people. It is a great podcast. It is a fucking superb podcast, but
let's go back to that for a minute because what you said is... And that's... I think I asked you this before. I was like, maybe I don't know. I felt like, am I like a jaded person?
Yeah.
I can't believe that I think I wrote to you, didn't I, the comment that I would make. But I'm almost too... I have a bit of comments and anxiety anyway, but I'm almost too nervous to make that comment because everyone... It seems like... I can't be the only person that thinks, you know, this guy has a very good podcast and definitely has some skills as an interviewer, but is a clear narcissist.
Yeah.
And very unlikable.
I think so anyway. Like,
as a person, you know. But no one... I'm scrolling down thinking someone's got to have said this.
Nobody does. Like,
someone's got to have said
never
this.
found oh my God, this guy's a twat or you know.
Yeah, I love your
great podcast, but you're a twat.
Love the podcast, you're a bellend. But I suppose who would say that? I don't know. But.
No, but like, I felt like, I'm the same as you. I felt like sometimes going, oh my God, this guy has an amazing podcast, but like he needs to fucking come down off his high horse, like. Yeah. And it's getting progressively worse as well. Like his older stuff. You know, because I guess he was sitting with like some of the hardest gangsters in the UK, right? Yeah. So I guess he can't like fucking flex on them too much. But then he had like a couple of porn stars on and a couple of, you know, guests that weren't criminals or, you know, maybe might have been a grass or like something like that. And like the twattage comes out big time. Like even the claim that he made that. Like with both porn stars, he basically went, "Oh, really? Is that how it goes? I never watch porn myself. Come on, mate, you're lying."
Yeah.
Anybody that says I've never watched porn is lying.
Absolutely
lying. Yeah. Lying. And if he has never watched porn, then I've never fucking had a meal in my life, basically.
Well, like I feel like with that guy, no matter who he's interviewing, he could be interviewing someone who's in the higher echelons of gangsterism in London. He could be interviewing. You know, someone who's a top athlete or who had some kind of problem, but he's got like a little bit of a not a one-up story, but no matter what the subject is, he's always like, oh yeah, I've experienced that myself. You know, I've been there. It's like, no, you haven't been there. No. You haven't won. You haven't been a professional snooker player. You have, you know. He's always been there. And like when he's always been, no matter what it is.
Yeah, and when a stripper is almost crying or a porn star or whatever is almost crying to the stage, like, why did you get into porn? And she's telling about like, oh, my uncle, you know, interfered with me when I was a kid or whatever. You can't compare that. Like, you just shut your mouth. Just shut your fucking mouth. I'm not saying he did for that, but like, there's always like, as you said, like a one-upmanship with him. Like,
I can't remember who he was talking to now, but someone. Oh no, I don't remember who he was talking to. He was talking to Ryan Giggs' brother. Right, Rodri Giggs, and it was another great interview because it's brilliant. It's a great story. It's like proper soap opera shit, you know what I mean? And but yeah, so he was talking about this, and he was like, "Oh, I just can't believe how you must have felt when when you found out, you know, your brother had been banging your missus, and then in the same breath he went, I mean, I shagged my best mate's missus once. It's like, what? That doesn't make any sense. Like, if that, and then I don't understand.
You're sympathising with him, but then you're saying, I actually did it as well. Like,
if I was Rodri Giggs and he said that to me, I'd be like, well, then you're a fucking cunt.
Yeah, you're the same as Ryan, like. Yeah.
But everybody, they all seem to fucking love him. It must be because he's got a lot of views and he's a popular YouTuber. So
and rightly so as well.
Yeah.
Rightly so.
I know, yeah. We don't have to keep saying that.
No,
we know he's a good podcaster, but I feel like the celebrities, there must be some of them who think this guy's just a little little weasel, but I need him.
But I noticed that some of the, like, especially I think he was Liverpool, the Marvin. One of the criminal lads, or ex-criminals.
I think he was born in Liverpool but grew up in London.
Yeah, the one he like missing an eye, or he's a half an eye or something. Fantastic podcast.
Very interesting fella to listen to.
What a story. And I actually watch his podcast sometimes as well. Great story, but I could see him looking at him once or twice kind of going, nah, you don't know what I'm talking about.
You're not in my life. What are you talking about? He's like, yeah, I grew up in fucking Glasgow. I know that shit. I know crazy blokes. It's like, you talking to fucking Marvin. What's his name? Marvin.
I can't remember.
But it's like, don't say you understand what this guy's going through.
You don't understand. And then like, what was the other one?
Just be honest. Ask some fucking questions. If that was me, I'd be like, fuck me. I've never done anything even remotely fucking close to that. Can you explain to me how that feels? Not like, oh yeah, I remember when I was in the fucking bookies and gambling. You know, it's just always about what story can I fucking tell you? You know,
it's basically it's just I guess this is kind of constructive feedback in a way. It's like it's awesome what he's doing, but like he could make it so much better if he just asked the questions and didn't give his like.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's only me, but I'm watching that podcast and thoroughly enjoying it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if he's not asking a question, if he's just waxing lyrical about his own life, my skin I'm bristling.
Yeah, me too.
Like
I think because nobody's saying it in the comment sections is why I'm want to put him into room 101. Because
it's weird to me.
It's like, why is nobody? Is it just me and Finn that think like, why is he doing this?
Yeah.
Like, and
I agree.
I'm going to mention across the pond, and I was going to do a separate one, but I don't think I need to do that. Joe Rogan is another similar to me. It's like, to me now, like their egos have gotten so big that they think that they can say whatever the hell they want. And like Joe's had a couple of like close calls with like people like he said stuff about COVID and stuff where he's not qualified to say it, you know. And because they have so many followers, their followers take their word as gospel. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like I can't remember what it was about him, but there's been a few times where, and in fairness to Joe, he's gone on and in a later podcast and said, look, I stepped out of line.
I'm not a doctor.
I shouldn't have opened my mouth. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I was high as fuck or whatever. And like, that's also the good thing about podcasting on YouTube, that they are free to say whatever they want, but they also have to realize that they're massive influencers on people, and people will listen to what they say, you know. Like I went through a phase where if Joe Rogan said you should be eating crack because it's good for your bones or something, I would have went, okay, yeah. But then I realised this guy's talking shit because he got called out on more than one occasion.
I mean, that's like a whole new argument, because there is an argument to say, like, why should these people... if that's the same as like a celebrity or an athlete, like you know, athletes are held up to higher standards, like you have an effect on loads of kids' lives, so you can't go out drinking and fucking doing whatever the fuck you want to do. And then there is an argument to say, like, well, that's not, your parents should be teaching you that, not me. However, that's not the world we live in.
No, but also I agree with what you just said there, but also they're saying things that they're not qualified to say as well. Like, it's not like they're saying you should live your life this way, or I think this is they're actually literally like saying something like you shouldn't wear a mask, or you shouldn't, you know, do it.
Well, I know you don't.
That's not what he said, or I can't remember what he said, but like, you know what I mean? Like, don't say it unless you're 100% sure.
Just don't talk.
Or else at least go, I think this is what you know what I mean?
Or at least
my opinion is. You
preface it with in my opinion.
In my opinion.
This really came to a head. I know you don't know much about the NFL, but this came to a massive head for me a few weeks ago. There's literally one of the top quarterbacks, not just in the NFL now, but of all time, Aaron Rodgers for the Green Bay Packers. I mean, not just like a bit part player. He is like an absolute top player. You know? Okay. And he got done recently in the NFL because he wasn't vaccinated against COVID. Yeah. But in an interview earlier in the season, they said, "Are you vaccinated?" And he said, "I am immunized against the COVID vaccine." All right. So he used this. He's pretty clever as well. He's used to getting loads of shit.
Does that mean that he?
Well, this is the thing. Yeah. So he used those words, and everyone just assumed. So he's been now going to the whole season. He's been going to press conferences with no mask on, because as if you're not vaccinated, if you're vaccinated, you're allowed to do. Yeah. If you're not vaccinated, you shouldn't be doing. Now it came out recently that he's actually not vaccinated. And he said, "Well, I never said that." He's like, "I only said I was immunized." He's been going to like holistic treatments and all this bullshit. But the thing was, one of the things that came out was that he actually said one of the biggest quotes was he's been taking COVID treatment advice from Joe Rogan.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Yeah, well, there you go. Like, so, you know what I mean?
I mean, even then, and we're talking about like I said, literally a top athlete in the US.
And like the other thing is like. That's why you have to get concerned about it, like when a top athlete says that. But also, like, look, Joe did get COVID and got over it within a couple of days, but also Joe Rogan, for his age, is super fit. He looks after himself really, really well. That works for him, but it's not a one size fits all solution. Nobody should be listening to nobody except like scientists and doctors and stuff about that kind of stuff.
But this is the point we've got to now, where like it's not just like your average person. You've got Joe Rogan, then you've got this guy. Probably you know what people like. I mean, people listen to everything a sports star's saying just because they're fit and they do their sport well. At the end of the day, you're just throwing a fucking ball around. Like you do it well, fair enough. But, and then you've got Joe Rogan, and these two people are saying like, "Oh, you can take this." What were they taking? Like horseworming.
No, I have no idea, but
that's what Joe Rogan was taking. He got COVID, didn't he?
Yeah, he got it.
And now Aaron Rodgers got COVID. That's why he got caught, because he got COVID. Yeah. And they
well, he point blank lied. Like even saying I'm immune.
He didn't lie though. He was just tricky.
Yeah, but like for me, if he had COVID and had not been vaccinated, so if he had got over it, then I would also say that's the same as taking the vaccine, because now your body fought it off yourself. But he's saying that he used some fucking thing that Joe Rogan recommended, so that's a straight up lie. No matter what way you what way you word it, and that's a dangerous territory to get in.
Well, one of the funniest comments was, after this news story, someone commented, "I'll tell you what, the next time Aaron Rodgers breaks his leg on a football field, we'll get Dr. Joe Rogan on to fucking treat him and see how he feels then. See how he feels about that medical advice."
Yeah, exactly. So basically, I'm putting in I'm trying to put in James English because of like, I think he's heading into that territory of where he thinks he can say whatever the hell he wants to say, and I just want to kind of stop him in his tracks. Leave him do what I'll leave him. I'll give him a laptop and a video camera and send him in guests.
Yeah, do what you do.
Do what you're doing, but stop stop making it about you.
Stop.
Do you know what I mean?
Stop pretending you can relate to everybody's life, even someone who's like been a top gangster. You haven't been.
Yeah.
And stop.
Even if he was.
And stop the psychobabble.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
So what do you reckon?
What do you think?
Will we give Jeff a bit of company?
Fucking absolutely. Absolutely.
Low hanging fruit. Yeah. Low hanging fruit.
All right.
Cool.
Nice.
All right. So Q&A. What you got?
Yeah, just came up with this now, to be honest. But we were discussing it before, and I was actually thinking about it before, but I think it'll be a good idea. In the same vein, I actually spoke to Felix, my little brother, and he said he really enjoyed when we did a questionnaire about if you're an alcoholic.
Oh, yeah. I love that one.
He said it was really funny. And he also said, which I think we thought, he said, actually, I thought it was quite important to make people realise that. Well, he saw it a different way. I said, well, actually, if you answer yes to one of those questions, then it kind of states you should be rethinking your life. But Felix thought, to me, it just said that, you know, everyone can just relax about their drinking. That's what he thought. That's what he took from it.
Yeah, that's an interesting take but also I think that
it's like everyone's done something stupid, everyone's fallen over, it doesn't make you an alcoholic. That's what he took from it.
Yeah, and also there's different you know, some people think that like an alcoholic is that person that we said that is just sitting at a bar like
pissing their pants in the
but
street.
Sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's a perfectly functioning human being, but I think it's no harm to also question yourself once in a while. Like, do I overdrink? Do I overeat? Do I overthink things?
Well, I think we were saying, weren't we, that the last thing we wanted to do was trivialize alcohol.
No, absolutely not. That's not the way. And I didn't come across that way.
And like, I just thought it's like an interest. It's a good conversation to have, because a lot of people, especially, you know, in our circle, the way we are, you know, people don't really question people's drinking habits so much.
No, exactly. But and also, it's like there's no harm in asking that question to yourself once in a while as well. You know, or like just, you know. Yeah, I think there's like a taboo about like alcoholism and even like mental health and stuff. Like, I'm sure there's millions of people that suffer from depression and stuff, but nobody wants to talk about it.
Well, you're right.
And it's just open up the conversation that, look, maybe I am depressed and I'm an alcoholic or something.
You're right, because I'd like to think that if I had a friend that I was actually concerned about, but sometimes it's hard to, because that's a hard conversation to start with a friend.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You know, like, and they'll be like, "The fuck off!" You know, you fucking drink as well. And then, you know, everyone gets fucking defensive. Anyway, so I've got a new questionnaire.
Okay.
I'm going to I'm going to give Jason 29 questions. It's here. It's just on the internet.
Okay.
But I have to click the answer. I have to click the answer at the end. So it's, are you a psychopath? That's the questionnaire.
Oh, that's what we'll get. That's the conclusion. Oh, awesome. Awesome. I often wonder this about myself.
I think this would be great. And I'll click the answers for you. So and I'll give my answers too. But
maybe next week we can do you. So today we just do me.
I'll know the questions.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, that's true. Okay.
So basically, we're really going to find out if Jason is a psychopath today. Okay. But let's see how many answers I was the same or not. Anyway, so
I'm going to hazard a guess and say yes, but let's see.
Anyway, I have no idea what the questions are going to be. I haven't seen this before, so the first question is: do you ever feel afraid? All right?
Yes.
Well, there's 3 answers. Hang on.
Oh, sorry. Okay. I didn't know there were multi-choice.
Never, sometimes, or when the situation calls for it.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah. All right.
I'm not going to piss about now. We have 29 questions to get through, so
I'll click sometimes. Yeah. Next question. You sleep with your boss to get a promotion. Do you feel guilty? No way, no regrets. I feel guilty, but hey, I got the promotion I deserve. I would never do that. That's wrong. Be honest, mate.
Would I sleep with a boss for a promotion?
I mean, I think you have to put yourself in a position where that, like, it might be serious financial
Yes, I would.
reward for
Yes, I would. Yes, I would. And I wouldn't feel guilty about it.
No way, no regrets.
Yeah.
Oh no, shit! Not no way, no regrets.
Go back to start again. There's only 2 questions in.
Oh no, hang on a minute.
Oh
no. Sorry, you sleep. Oh no, yeah. No, you're right. You sleep with your boss. Do you feel guilty? No way, no regrets. Okay, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Someone catches you cheating on the final in your college course. Do you feel ashamed? No, I did what I had to do if I wanted to pass, but I totally feel bad. I feel really bad about it. And third, I would never do that. It's wrong, but if I did, I'd feel super ashamed and guilty. I think I can kind of see which questions are going to lead to being a psychopath or not, to be honest.
Yeah, but let's keep going anyway. Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that, basically. No. I wouldn't do it, so...
What do you mean you wouldn't do it? Do you remember the question?
I wouldn't cheat on... if I'm going to fail, I
would never do that.
I would never do that.
Yeah, I wouldn't cheat on a fucking test.
No point.
Do you use a, air quotes, mask to blend into society and feel and seem normal? What about that? Yes or no?
No. I don't think, no. I am who I am, like. Maybe in my youth I did, but nowadays what you see is what you get with me nine times out of 10.
Yeah,
right?
I feel the same thing. But I feel like yes and no is quite black and white because I feel like I might change a little.
Yeah,
bit.
it depends on the situation. Like,
Depending
I mean,
on
I'm
what group.
definitely a different person at work than I
Yeah.
am in my free time. So I guess it's a yes. Yes, I do.
I was gonna say, like, you know, if I was out with like a group of parents of students,
Yeah, I do put on a mask.
I think I'd be a
I like
different-
sometimes if I'm in public or doing this pool thing, I put on this mask of professionalism where in the inside I'm like going.
But
whatever.
the question is, do you use a mask to blend into society and seem normal?
No. Then
I wouldn't
that's-
say that.
No, I don't.
No. Your puppy died overnight.
Mm-hmm.
How do you react? Good. Now I won't need to go out for walks with him. No, my puppy. Who did this? Why did this happen? What happened? Or third, huge tears of unhappiness and grief.
What was the first one again?
Good. Now I won't need to go out for walks with him.
Yeah, see that the answers are a bit because I'd be like sad, but I'd be also like, okay, whatever, let's move on. Like,
Yeah, I wouldn't give a fuck.
I wouldn't, but I wouldn't.
I've never had a puppy.
But I'd never say good. You know, I'd be like a bit upset about it, but I'd be also like, let's move on. It's just a dog.
I think that's closer to good. Now I won't need to go out for walks with him then.
Is
in my
it?
opinion.
Okay.
It's closer than no, my puppy. Who did this? Why did this happen?
To be honest, it probably would enter my head to go, oh, at least I don't have to do this anymore.
It wouldn't be a massive.
I would, but I
infringement
wouldn't.
on your life.
But I just want to get clear. I wouldn't. My opening.
I'd be sad.
My opening statement wouldn't be good.
Fucking
But
me.
I definitely go, that's a shame. But in my head, I'd be going, at least I don't have to go for a
I
walk.
think you're closer to number one then.
Okay.
I reckon you're going to be a psychopath, mate. I mean,
Awesome.
Your best friend is crying over her breakup.
Mm-hmm.
Her boyfriend cheated on her. I guess you can change it to
Yeah, whatever.
her girlfriend cheated on. You, A, tell her to stop crying. We have a video game to finish. B, crack jokes about what a loser that guy was anyway, and then distract her with something positive. Or C, cry with her. That's a terrible situation to be in.
B. 100% B.
Yeah, I remember someone doing that to me when I broke up with a girl. That's not the thing you need to hear, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know.
I'm just going to tell
but
you.
I'm kind of thinking,
my opinion.
in my head, I'm like going, one, I don't, unless it's like, if it was one of my sons, I'd probably go with C, but if it's like just a friend or something, I'm uncomfortable in those situations where somebody's like...
The crack joke bit, I understand.
Yeah, I try to make, like, you know, I definitely call the person a loser just because I think in my head that makes him feel better that, like, he was a shithead anyway, right? And then I'm just like, I just want, let's move on, you know what I mean?
I remember when I broke up with a girlfriend who, like, I was in love with, and I remember, and I think she was just trying to make me feel better, but she was like, oh, you know, like literally something like, oh, I never fucking liked her anyway. Like that kind of comment is not what you need. It's like, what the fuck?
Is it not though?
To me, no, because if you,
Yeah, I suppose if you're
because
that,
you were like, I was in fucking love with that girl, and you're telling me you fucking hated her, kind of thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. I mean,
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Again, you know, like people, they trying to say anything to make you feel better. So I don't know if it was true, but that's not what I needed to hear at that point.
Okay.
Do you turn your charm on when you feel like it?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. What's the?
That was just yes or no.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I think I might say yes to that.
I think everybody does. I mean, when you're at home hungover on a Sunday, you know what I mean? You're your real self. But if like your boss walked in and said, I need to have a talk with you, you're definitely going to turn on the charm. Like, do you know what I mean? So I think that's a stupid question because I think everybody
it's
does
also
that.
phrased. It's almost like it sounds like, you know. Do you only turn on your charm when you feel like it, like you are in complete control of your charm? I wouldn't say that, but there are times when you think, oh, I need to fucking step it up. You know?
I'm going to say yes to
All
that.
right,
Yeah.
Is your ego the size of Texas? It's a ridiculous question.
No.
Yes, a little, or no?
No.
No.
I don't think so anyway.
Everyone's got a little ego.
I of course I have an ego, but I don't think it's that big.
Yeah. Do you love lying? Totally. Sometimes you have to. No, I feel bad when that happens.
B, sometimes I have to.
Yeah, I would say that. Everyone lies a bit, don't they?
Yeah. I think there's no harm in a white lie once in a while. I think we've hit on that a few times.
Are you inquisitive about the world around you? A, yes. B, I guess I like knowing what people are up to from time to time. C, I don't meddle in people's affairs unless I'm catching up with them over coffee or something.
A, yes.
Yeah, I think that is true of you. Yeah, I guess yes. I might be more like, I guess I like knowing what people are up to from time to time, but I'll put yes for you. Are you unable to form emotionally meaningful relationships?
No. I'm capable of doing that. Like, obviously, I'm married with two
I'm not
kids,
sure about
like,
me. I was going to say yes, maybe.
Yeah. I do worry about
Well,
you,
no,
like,
I mean, it's not just about having a girlfriend, is it? I do have emotionally meaningful relationships.
Yeah,
just don't have a girlfriend.
me, Leonard, a
Yeah,
lot
our
of
friends.
yeah, you're just, yeah.
That's a no. Are you a violent person? A, yes. B, I think everyone is capable of violence in the right circumstances. C, I am not. I actually prefer to avoid altercations as much as possible. I'd definitely say C.
B. 100% B.
Everyone.
Sometimes violence is necessary. I do believe that.
All right, fair enough. Are you a reckless driver? A, yes. B, I can get road rage sometimes, I guess. C, no, I drive like an old lady a lot. I'd definitely say B. I definitely
Yeah,
get
I'm
road
B
rage.
as well. I don't drive here, but I cycle or whatever. So like, yeah, B.
I rage.
B.
I do rage.
I do rage sometimes, but not all the time. Like,
Would you recklessly hijack someone else's bank robbery?
what?
A. It's weird. Duh. A is duh. Who wouldn't? B. No, that's how people die. I just do what they tell me to do. Oh, right. Would you stand up against a bank robbery?
All right, okay.
B. No, that's how people die. I just do what they tell me to do and get rescued by the police. C. Are you kidding? I'd be curled up in a ball on the floor, scared out of my mind. I'd say B.
Yeah, B.
There's no way I
Definitely B.
fucking... You know,
Just whatever, man. They're insured. I don't
no
give
way
a
to
fuck.
stand up with
It's not my business.
ever stalked someone? Yes or no?
No.
No. Do you obsess over anyone? Maybe a little. Or B, no, that's really weird.
A, maybe a little. Sometimes I obsess about things. Like,
Sometimes. It's not like
not like
not in like a sexual way.
Yeah, but like if somebody's like, sometimes like if there's a group of people and I will obsess about one person is like pissing me off or something like that.
Yeah,
so, yeah, I do.
Or maybe like why he's
And then
doing that. Or
and then
why-
I will openly admit this as well. I also then want to try and turn the group against him as well. So like, yeah,
Maybe that's the
100%.
next question.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe a little. Yeah. Do you obsess over someone or something? A, yes. B, over something like a goal, sure. Or C, no, I don't really obsess over anything.
A, yes.
I mean, that's kind of the same as the...
No, but that's more like do you obsess over things? Like, yeah, of course, yeah.
Do you ever feel worried? A, never. B, yes, obviously. I would say
Yeah.
definitely B, yeah.
Yeah.
Of course I feel
B.
worried sometimes. Yeah. Sorry, it's just ads again. Yeah. Yes, you do feel worried, yeah?
Yeah.
Your ex broke up with you 6 months ago. Do you still text in hopes of a reconciliation? A, yes. B, no, that ship sailed a long time ago. Definitely I'd say B. I never fucking do
Really?
that. Yeah.
No, I'd say A.
Really?
If I really loved
even if I did really love him, that's why I think maybe
Yeah.
you're a little bit more emotionally stable than me, because I'd be like, fuck that. Like, just out of spite. Even spiting myself, I wouldn't fucking do that.
Yeah, no. See, that's a. If we're talking about what the question was, if you were in love with somebody, then I definitely probably would keep trying. Like,
Yes. Do you have a deep, dark secret you've managed to hide from everyone for years? These questions are mad, aren't they?
I have secrets, but nothing that's like deep and dark. Like nothing that like if it came out, I'd be done. Like so,
Yeah.
no,
I can't think of
no.
No, I don't.
I have secrets, but like I said, they're like if they came out, probably people would just laugh at me or whatever. But
Yeah,
like
not something like
nothing that, like,
I
would-
might go to prison or something.
yeah, or like I like no.
All right.
I wank a lot, like.
That's the next question. Do you feel like rules are there to keep you from doing what you want to do? A, yes. B, I'm a rebel, but no, they're meant to keep some kind of order. C, no, they're there for a reason.
C. I'm a firm believer in rules, to be honest.
All right, I'll put C.
Yeah,
I'm not quite sure what I'd say.
not like. I just think that if you do anything, there should be like a guideline of like this is how we're going to do it. Basically,
Yeah,
of course, I get upset when they start like forcing us to do stuff.
But you
and blah,
understand
blah, blah.
generally.
They're there for a reason. I don't always agree with them, but they are there for a reason, and I respect that.
Fair enough. Do you feel like people are puppets to manipulate and get what you want? A, yes. B, only sometimes. C, no, never. Those are human beings.
B, sometimes.
Very honest.
B, bordering on A. No, B.
Yeah. Next question is, do you talk about scary, weird things in a matter-of-fact tone? A, yes. B, I have a good poker face, but it's for hilarious reasons only. I don't really understand that answer. C, no, that's impossible, right?
I don't understand. Say the question again.
Do you talk about scary, weird things in a matter-of-fact tone?
No. No.
It's a bit of an odd question.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, not really. I reckon Rich does. Oh, mate. Have you ever hurt people before? A, yes. B, I mean, probably emotionally. People all hurt others without meaning to. C, I hope not. Would you force anyone to do something they didn't want to do? A, yes. B, no.
Force is like basically, no, I wouldn't do that. I would try to convince them to do it, but I wouldn't force them to do it. So no.
I don't think I ever do that. When found out, do you have a problem explaining your actions without feeling really bad? No, I just answer their questions. B, I feel bad. It's a bit of an odd question.
A, no.
I think it's just like
if you got caught fucking up or something.
I think it's
like
just
that.
assuming you're a psychopath now. Next one. Do you have the ability to get people to trust you while backstabbing them? Yes, or I don't know. I don't really backstab people.
Say the question and the answers again.
Do you have the ability to get people to trust you while backstabbing them?
Yes.
Fucking hell, straight in there. Fair enough. I don't think I would say.
No, you don't.
Really
You're not that type of person. You're not.
Next one. Are you always doing things for yourself? Doing things to get ahead and look out for yourself? A, yes, always. B, everyone does, right? But not in like a bad way. You just look after yourself. C, I'm not selfish about it. I just work hard.
B.
Yeah, I think that's what I'd say. Yeah, I just feel like, just look after yourself. Yep, I'd agree with that one. Do people feel uncomfortable around you? Yes or no?
See, that's a kind of a stretch. I don't know. Basically, is my answer. I don't know. Do people feel uncomfortable? I want to say no, they don't, but maybe they do. I don't know. If the question was, do you think people are uncomfortable around you? I would say no.
I guess maybe it's kind of like a catch-22. Maybe if you say no, that means you're a psycho. You know what I mean? Because you don't think people. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but I don't think that people are. So yeah, I guess the answer is no. So I don't think people are uncomfortable around me.
I don't think so either.
I don't think so.
You are a dark, witty person. Whew. You're not violent. You do have realistic long-term goals, which means you can plan for the future and you don't have overconfidence. More than that, you actually feel emotions like guilt and shame, so you wouldn't stomp over someone to get a promotion. You're not a psycho. You just have a dark sense of wittiness. Whew, you can breathe now.
To be honest, that is what I am like.
Yeah.
I kind of knew in my heart that I wouldn't be like a full-blown psycho. But like I would have some psycho tendencies, but I'm not a psycho. Like,
well, to be honest, I feel like that description of a character is a much more interesting person than someone who's like everything's sunbeams and I don't trust fucking people like that. I don't trust people who say like hello really nicely to everyone they meet ever.
No, like these super positive people like annoy the shit out of me. Like it's like
hi to everyone they meet. It's like, how can you possibly be that fucking excited to meet everyone?
Look at it. Like sometimes I do something. Sometimes you send me messages of like I love you to bits, but like sometimes you're like always see the positive side of people. And I'm like kind of going, does he really feel that way? And then I kind of going, nah, okay, maybe I'm just a cunt, like, but I do, like, I'm not saying you're one of those fluffy people, but like,
well, I try my I do.
You do try your best to be positive
about
about everything. Like.
Whatever, I'm like, no one's like intrinsically bad. There must be, and also I don't like getting angry.
Yeah,
it makes me fucking tired and stressed.
But like, I kind of like. I feel that I need to vent every once in a while, and I need somebody to listen to me bitch about somebody or something or whatever. But I get over it very, very fast.
Yeah,
like it's like
I think that's
if you leave me say my bit and kind of go, yeah, that was a bit fucking blah blah blah. I'm so over it like 5 minutes later. So like, yeah, I think it was good. That was good. Right. That was a good one.
Yeah, not bad.
Cool.
We're not psychos.
Movies. Movie quotes.
Sort of. What was it? I'll just kiss him on both cheeks.
They're all not staying in.
Is that on there?
Finn likes kissing men on both cheeks. That's
kiss
okay.
him on both cheeks.
Thought there was a bit of a Frenchman in you there somewhere. But anyway, so we're on to movie quotes round 2. Last week I got a massive score of 6, and then Finn said to me, I want you to really challenge me. So
I really do.
I originally did go, and I reckon I stumbled upon the same site as you did, but then I went, no, don't do that. So I actually discovered that you can actually download full scripts of movies, like the full screenplay, which has just sent me I'm never reading a normal book again. I'm just going to start reading movie scripts.
It's amazing reading
because it is literally like I sent you the Platoon one. None of these are Platoon, just to say. But it's reading it. You might as well be watching the movie. It's brilliant, like because they go into what they said, but they also describe each scene. But it's just in little small bits that it's enough to set the scene. And I just think it's better than a book, to be honest with you. I just think it's fantastic.
Well, it's funny because I think sometimes you read a book, like I don't know if you've ever read Michael Crichton.
No.
He was the author of Jurassic Park.
No.
And The Firm. Basically, fucking any Hollywood blockbuster from like the last 20 years, this motherfucker wrote.
Okay.
Basically, and when you read his books, it's almost like I mean, he's such a clever writer. He obviously he's dead now, unfortunately, but he obviously researches everything he does is like on a certain topic. But Jurassic Park, I think he wrote in like 1980 or some shit. You know what I mean? Like he was always like way ahead of the time. He was a bit almost a little bit like Jules Verne in the way that like he was.
I said yeah, with no idea who that is.
He wrote Around the World in 80 Days and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Great books, yeah.
In like the 1800s and shit. But he always seemed to be like right on the cusp of what could happen in the next 15 years, and he wrote a book. It's amazing. But when you read his books, it's almost like I almost feel like he had in his head like I can write this book and I'll make a bit of money, but he's writing it like it could be a movie. Like every book, it's like you can see the movie unfolding in front of you. Right? All his books are absolutely amazing. He wrote Disclosure, that one where Demi Moore shags Michael Douglas.
But if like, especially here in China, it can be difficult to get books. You know, you can get Chinese books if you can read Chinese, but it's hard to get like English books. But like, if you do like reading, I would highly recommend go to whatever is your favorite movie, downloading the script and reading it, because it's like reliving the movie but in a book form without having to go and get the book, if you know what I mean. Like,
well, then I would definitely recommend you have a go at some Michael Crichton books.
Yeah, I'll give it a go. So let's get into it. The only hint I'll give you is this is basically.
Don't give me any hints. I don't want any hints. Any hints.
All right. No, but all I want to say is that I got lazy. I just pulled. These are all from the opening scenes of these movies. That's all I'm going to say, right? Okay. So, the first one is, I told you to stay off the boardwalk.
I told you to stay off the boardwalk. Fuck me, I don't think I'm going to get this one. I'm fucking gutted already. I wanted 100%.
You said challenge me.
I know, yeah, fair enough. I told you to stay off the boardwalk. Can I have an actor?
If you have to guess first, which means you were.
I know it's not right. Jaws?
No.
I know that's not right.
No. Actor Kiefer Sutherland.
Oh, fucking hell. Lost Boys.
Yeah. It's the opening scene, the security guard, you know, when they're coming.
Yeah. Damn.
Awesome. Okay. This is a tiny snippet of a conversation. What's that? Sounds like the Garbage Men. On Tuesday?
Commando.
Yeah! Awesome.
That's a shout out to Luke as well.
Yeah.
Fucking Commando.
Luke's...
On a Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking hell.
Yeah, I kind of knew you were going to get that, and I also wanted, like, you know, give a shout out to Commando.
That's the big bald black guy who just guns him down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the last one is, the longer you animals bark, the colder your lunch gets.
The longer you animals bark, the colder your lunch gets. I feel like it's a prison movie. The longer you animals bark, the colder your lunch gets.
I'll give it to you. It's not a prison movie,
All
but
right.
it is in a prison, but it's not a prison movie. You're going to kick yourself.
I can see the guy saying it as well.
Oh shit, I can't think of an actor.
The longer you animals bark, the colder your lunch gets. He's kind of shouting it, isn't he? In the movie.
Yeah.
Can I just say, I'm very pleased with the quotes you picked. Because this is what I wanted.
Yeah.
And I can actually...
You can see,
I
you
can
can
hear
almost see it.
I can
like,
hear him. I can hear him saying it. The longer you animals bark, oh, man.
And it's not the opening scene is in a prison, but it's not the movie. Like
I know, yeah.
you're gonna kick yourself so
I
hard.
know what it is. Oh, mate, I'm going to need an actor.
Give it a guess. Give it a guess.
Fuck.
Think about the two other movies I gave you, and around that time, and how we feel about them.
So it's an 80s movie. Of course it's an 80s movie. I haven't even got a guess, honestly.
Just pull out a random fucking movie. Anything.
Oh, it's just killing me. It's killing me. Wait.
Just to describe his face now, he's like, he is, it's like
I'm
he's
in
trying to
pain.
give birth to a rhinoceros at the
I
moment.
can feel like there's like synapses in my brain firing going, you know this, but it's just taking a long time to get...
The problem is when you ask me for an actor, I don't know, so I'm going to have to just pause it and find an actor that's not going to give it away. You know what I mean?
It's not right, but Full Metal Jacket
No.
starts in a prison.
So, you guessed Full Metal Jacket. No, that wasn't right. So, it was 1985, and one of the actors in the movie is Sean Astin.
Oh, fucking hell. Goonies.
I applaud you for getting it.
Well, as soon as you said Sean Astin in 1985, I knew it was the Goonies, but I just kept thinking, they called it because the Fratellis are in prison at the beginning. I mean, as soon as you said it, I knew it was the Goonies. It couldn't be anything else.
Amazing. I'm blown away that you even got it with that, because I would have probably went. Was he in?
Sean Astin wasn't in any other movie.
Yeah.
Until he was only in the Goonies and then Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I was just gonna go like I only know.
No,
him
he
from
was
Lord
in Toy Soldiers. He was in.
Yeah, I should have picked some. Yeah. Oh my god, I forgot about Toy Soldiers. What an amazing movie.
Great movie.
Yeah. So, but I'm blown away. Like I'm not saying that like
As soon as you
I
got
didn't
the actors,
I didn't go
fucking
out of my way like to trip you up, but I went out of my way to find like 3 movies that I know that we've both watched.
But yeah,
Still 4 points though.
Yeah. No. Oh yeah, I got the second one. I got Commando.
Yeah. In my heart, I knew you were going to get the Commando one. Awesome. That's it. 4, 6, 4.
Mate. Really, really good. Keep it going. I want hard ones like this.
I don't, by the way. Okay, news. So basically, I'm going to go off our normal source of Panda Guides, and I'm going to the 6th tone. Is it 6th tone? Also, a very good note. Yeah, it looks like these guys actually write their own articles. They don't just source it. They're always a bit too long. But this one is about, I briefly mentioned to you earlier that I think is a good conversation. It's about OFO, which were I want to say they were the first ones to come out with the shared bike concept. They had yellow bikes. They're all gone now. I thought it was game over, right? I thought they went bankrupt. They did the usual Chinese company thing where they were doing very, very well, but then like overstretched themselves. Basically, they went bankrupt. They were. I didn't even notice they were in like 5 or 6 other countries as well, and they were like doing really, really well. And then they did the usual stuff that happens.
It was an amazing idea.
It still is an amazing idea. And like Hello Bike and DD bikes are like, they're doing very, very well, right? But you could see that they were like...
DD bikes?
Yeah, the green ones are actually related to DD.
Oh, they really?
Yeah. So I think you can get the green ones if you have the DD app. But I think you might have to probably give them 1 million other fucking... your passport number, your mother's name, your fucking dog's name, and blah blah blah. But anyway, so I thought they were dead and buried. I thought it was all over, right? So they did the gist of it is, I think it was like maybe 2 years ago, you had Mobike, Ofo, and Hello Bike were starting to come on the market, but then all of a sudden, Ofo disappeared off the market. And like people, you'd seen like people were like spray painting bikes. They were just going, they were done basically. And I thought that was the end of the story. Turns out it's not the end of the story. What's happened recently now is Ofo owe like millions and millions of people their 99 RMB deposit, including you, right?
Including me.
And they kept saying all along, we're going to honor like giving back the deposit, but we don't have it now. We're going to give it to you eventually. So it turns out a lot of people kept the app on their phone, I guess, in hopes of getting their deposit back.
I
right?
must have it.
So basically what they've done now is the next time you try to open the Ofo app, if you haven't done it already, you will get an update. They will ask you to update the app, and the app now it's now turned from like a bike sharing app into an e-commerce app where it's still called Ofo, blah blah blah, but they're like hiding behind this like, oh, now we sell stuff, right? But they're still saying to people basically, we're still going to give you your deposit back. However, and this is 2 ways that you could do it. They're not saying that these are the only 2 options, but they're basically saying one is if you invite a friend to like pay a deposit.
Join our online supermarket.
So that's like, okay, number 1, that's a pyramid scheme, right? Get your mate involved and you'll get your 2,000 out of it, or your 99 RMB out of it.
That's mine anyway.
Which is mine anyway.
So it's the worst pyramid scheme ever.
So now I basically have to go and fuck a friend to get my fucking 99 RMB. Or the other one is, if you buy something from their site, which turns out that it's just like links to Tabo and other things. So like if you buy a bunch of toilet paper, they will like you can use like 1 RMB of your deposit to like get that toilet paper. So like instead of it being like 29, now it's 28, right? And somebody like from 6 Tone worked it out that you would have to spend 10,000 RMB on this app to get your 99 RMB back. But also you'd like just basically have a house full of toilet paper and other random stuff like.
What a bunch of shit.
I I'm not like I don't agree with like China like blocking apps and stuff like that, but I think they're 100% within their right to go in and like, okay, you're done, lads, you're fucking done. Like.
This is like, I mean, it seems to me like this is a company that they started a good idea, it folded, it fucked up, and now they're just like they don't want
clutching
to,
at straws.
They don't want to give them, they don't want to give the money back that
well,
they took off people.
I think it sucks that they owe a lot of people the 99 RMB, but I'm a firm believer in like sometimes you put your trust in a company, you give them some deposit or whatever else, and they fold, and you just have to move on, right? I think the world can move on from Ofo and like go, if those guys
lost 100 quid.
Yeah, and if those guys ever open up something else, I'll definitely be staying away from them. But this thing to come like 2 years later with this like, oh look, here's the solution to the problem. if you get a friend to join us for 99 RMB, you can have your 99 RMB.
Yeah, the
back.
way they're like selling it, like an opportunity for you.
And then the other one is like even like if they turn around and went, you can use your 99 RMB to buy our like, and if something costs 99 RMB and you could just use the full amount to pay for it, then okay, that's also fair, right? Because look, if they want to try and pull themselves up off the ground and dust themselves off,
business is business.
Fair
They wanna
enough.
keep going.
But like, don't be ridiculous about it that you have to spend 10 grand to get 99 RMB back.
Yeah, don't try and pull the wool over my eyes like you're doing me a fucking favour.
So I just thought like
It should be, there's 3 choices. You can, fuck your friend over. You can join our online supermarket, or we'll just give you your fucking 99 RMB back. That's what it should be.
Like, it's
That's
like,
what it should
look,
be.
I respect them for like not giving up, but like this is a shit idea. Like it's no anybody that falls for this is a moron. Like I'm sorry to say it, but it's like, but this is where I do hope that the Chinese government. I think they have been kicked off something already because there's been such a like. Immediately there was such a big huge backlash, like massive backlash, and like I think the Chinese government did step in and go, lads, you're done. But I think that because it's still on your phone and blah blah blah, they can't like I think you can't like download the app now, but if you have the app and you've updated it, you can still get suckered into this nonsense. Like,
I mean, I just find it, to me it's just like the average person on the street just getting kicked in the fucking teeth.
yes,
It's like, okay, you started a business. God knows what they've done. I mean, I feel like they're doing that because they don't have your 100 RMB. That's how I feel.
yeah.
They've done something with it. They don't have it.
No, it's got no, but that's see what basically going back to their failure was. So if you think about it from like, if you actually step back and forget about what it is, it's actually genius in a way to get 99 RMB off. I don't know how many customers they had. Let's just pull a figure out of the air and say 100 million. That's fucking a lot of fucking 99s, right? 100 million it's a lot of fucking money. So even just that money sitting in a bank account is going to be accumulating a fuck ton of interest, right? But these tick fuckers decided that like, oh, we're not big enough, let's go and expand and like buy more bikes and buy more of this and get into more countries. And they blew their wad, right? They basically had cash and they fucked it away, right?
Because let's remember what they did with their bikes. Let's remember why they failed. Some of the problems you couldn't adjust the seat.
Yeah, I know. They're look.
So you biked around like a fucking hobbit,
like a Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
You ever see like Donkey Kong? Yeah,
exactly,
it basically was like.
And they had they had air-filled tires. So
the maintenance thing, but
they
look,
broke every
in
day.
fairness, they were trailblazers, right? They were the first to do it. It's a cracking idea. It still is a cracking idea. However, they got greedy, and instead of like a normal good like manager will say, okay, look, we have these deposits. Of course, you're going to dip into it a bit, but you should say to yourself, we're only going to dip into the deposit money when we really need to, and you definitely don't go below like 50%. You only use like 30% of it.
Let's
or something
think about
like that.
a possible rainy day. Where maybe
exactly. You basically
wrong.
One of my old bosses who was like kind of mentored me into being a project manager. Every project has a contingency fund, right? But he always automatically put that contingency fund. It doesn't exist. He basically taught me like
don't think about that.
People will be saying, "Oh, use the contingency fund." You go up. There is no contingency fund,
yours.
even though there is, because contingency is literally an emergency situation. Yeah. So like they should have looked at it and gone, "Okay, we have 200 million or whatever else. It's contingency. Put it in the background. We use it only if we know that we can get it back within a couple of months or something like that." And not all of it, even only like 10% or 20%. But they just went, this is our money to spend. And basically...
Clearly that's what they've done.
And I can't remember exactly what it was, but basically their failure started with one area was, I think another bike company came out, which could have been Mobike or DD or whatever, one of the other ones came out, and people started switching over. So they started pulling their money. And it kind of like, you know, had an effect. Like people were going, oh, what's wrong? And then it just had this knock on it. So it wasn't really about that they had a shitty bike. It was just something else came out and people were like, oh, these bikes are better or they're cooler or, you know, they have a better app or whatever else. And then people started pulling their deposit. And then at one stage it was just like, we don't have any more money to give. And people were literally queuing outside these OFO offices in Beijing and Shanghai and whatever going, give me back my fucking money, like.
Because like I said, I know you were saying like...
Which they didn't have at this stage because they had spent it on more bikes to go to, you know, Bosnia or whatever other places that they said, you know.
Because 100 kwai is, you know...
It's a tenner, like.
Well, for some people, it's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is a lot of money, like.
Especially if, like, you know, the company's folded and now you're like, okay, I can't use your bikes anymore, so I want that shit back. You know, you could use that deposit to pay for another bike company that's run it. You know what I mean? So...
No, I fully understand, and I don't disagree with that. Like, they definitely should take a deposit. Like, Hello Bike doesn't take a deposit, but I guess, you know, they're handling shit differently, and they're doing a great job. And Mobike, I must pull my deposit out of Mobike because I don't use it. They were 199, but I heard it's also a nightmare to get your deposit back. But I should get it back. It's like 200. It's like four or five drinks, you know what I mean?
Imagine how much money they've got knocking around.
It's crazy, like,
deposit. Jesus.
That's why even back in, like, this whole shared bike thing or shared, you know, battery chargers or what, it's a super idea and the world needs it, but do it the right way, you know what I mean? And like, these guys unfortunately were the first to do it, and they, you know, that's all. You will find that if you go through history that the first people to do it were never the successful ones. It was always the guys afterwards. Yeah. But they could have been successful if they just handled it. If they just didn't overstretch themselves. You know what I mean?
Greedy, didn't it? Yeah, you're right. They should, I just, you know, I don't really know, you know, anything about running a business, but I just feel like, yeah, I don't know what comes into your mind. I know you've got all that money, like you said, sitting however much money you've got, fucking 200 million, or whatever the fuck, fucking, God knows, fortune.
Yeah.
But it's like, you know that money is just, it's here temporarily in a way. Like, it's not really yours. It was a deposit. Yeah. And the fact that they obviously looked at it as like, oh, it's a bank account that we can...
Yeah.
Stupid.
They basically dipped into the contingency fund, which was there. The deposit was there for one reason and one reason only, really. It's like if somebody stole a bike or whatever, you can recoup your costs from it, or if they like fucked the bike up or whatever else, which is fair enough, right? And you also don't want to like charge nothing, because then people will really not care, you know, and they'll just like dump bikes wherever they want to dump them and stuff. They could use it as like a fining system that if you parked it in the wrong place, they can deduct money and stuff. All cool. But don't use it to grow your business. Yeah. Do you know, that's not what it's there for. It's there for a protection. It's there to protect that bike that person is using on that day.
Yeah. Well,
that's
it's called a fucking deposit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's all it is. And that money, you it's not your money. It's your money if somebody does something wrong. It's then your money. But they started using it as if, this is our money. Do you know what I mean? I'm sure they're all doing it to a degree, but they went too far with it. But what I think is just so laughable that they have the brass balls on them to like come out now and go, oh look, we can still give it back to you.
Yeah, that's the thing.
That's like disgusting behaviour, like, you know.
And yeah, like I said, the way they're kind of presenting it as though, you know, look at this amazing thing you can have. You can have this if you want. It's like, I don't want that. I want 100 kwai. You know? They're obviously, like I said, they're just scrambling around.
Yeah, it's
going, like, how can we keep afloat, kind of thing.
Look, I can't. I've only had one business in my life and it failed. But people were also advising me before it did fail. Oh, why don't you do like this VIP thing where you take 1,000 off people and then they get discounts and blah blah blah. But see, I said no to it in the end because I was thinking, okay, I'll just look at that 1,000 is for me to spend, which is wrong.
Yeah, like as soon as someone buys a VIP card, you're like, oh, I just made $1,000. No, you didn't. You made nothing.
You made nothing. You've actually made, in a way, you've made it worse for yourself.
Yeah,
because now you need to honour that 1,000.
Now you need to pay cheaper thing. Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, my wife is murder for it. Like every time she comes back from like bringing my kid to like a playground or something, she always ends up buying one of these VIP cards or whatever that's like costs 10 grand. But okay, yeah, if you go there every week and fucking but 9 times out of 10 life gets in the way and you don't get to use it. You know, it runs out within a year. If you can go there 1,000 times for free, but you're not going to go there 1,000. You're basically giving them 1,000 RMB for something that if you were only paying like, let's say, 50 RMB each time you went, you're not saving money.
I think the only reason anyone ever does that is because they're hoping you will never use it. That's what
that is 100% the reason why they're doing it. Also to get a load of cash, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's
like that's what I mean. They get the cash off you straight away. It's just this short-sighted thinking.
Yeah, and it's ridiculous because
the best example of that I can think of in this country is any gym.
Anything, yeah.
But the gyms, like gyms in this country, because any gym you normally have to join for a year, or something. And I've seen so many gyms close down after like 2 months.
I joined
and
too.
And then you've got absolutely no recourse whatsoever. No, you can't. You know, it's just gone. Yeah. You go to the gym one day and it's fucking chained up, and there's nobody there. You know.
The last time that happened, it was me and Michael Jordan, not the basketball player, but one of our friends, joined a gym near his house, and it was cheap. In fairness, it was 1,500 for the year.
That makes me more nervous.
Yeah, I should have known better, but like we paid it, and I think we went there 6 weeks, and then one day I turned up. And the fucking thing was all boarded up and gone, right?
Well, I mean, to be fair, I mean, that's gyms the world over. They charge you, I mean, they imagine how many membership charges they have. Now, if every single person who has a membership turns up on the same day, I mean, they're fucked.
Yeah.
There's no way you can...
No
way you can deal with that.
Yeah.
So they are counting on people after Christmas joining the gym.
Yeah.
They're counting on people going, oh, I need to get fit, and then giving up after 4 weeks like everybody does. But...
I guarantee you that they're right to do it because there are a lot of successful gyms. So they're banking on that, like 60% or 70% of people will not cash in on this, and then there will be 30 people that will, or 30% of people that will. But like even the gym I joined now, I had to sign up for 3 years, right? But I got a family package for 6,000. I was like, look.
You've signed up to a gym for 3 years?
Yeah, which I thought was the lowest you could sign up for them, right?
Oh, you're out of your mind.
I am but I asked Angel 1,000 questions. The only reason I did it was I know they're going to survive a year because it's a brand new gym. It's also in like a hotel which is kind of owned by the government and stuff, and it will be definitely there for a year, and I definitely know that my family will get 6 grand worth out of it, right? But I also like said to your man, I was like, can I bring it? Like, I would love to, like, for you to, me and you go swimming, right? Can I, like, no, I'm not saying can I get Finn in for free. I'm going, can I bring a friend and he pays like, 10 or 20 or 30 RMB? They're like, no. It's so short-sighted in my eyes. It's like, in my eyes, like, leave people do that because that's how you make more money. Because now what they have is they got all the people's money that they signed up for, right? And that's got to last them now 3 years. It's not going to work. I already know that I've paid that money and that gym is not, because they know every year.
Now you have no income.
No, absolutely. Exactly. Whereas if you do it for a year, at least you know, okay, we had a rough year, but we know if we do a good job, they'll sign up again next year. You can charge a bit more. I'm okay with that. Yeah, but no, they're just like, no, give us the 6 grand for your whole family to use it for 3 years.
See, to me,
I'm like, when I handed over the money, I was like, this is not going to last 3 years.
I'd be like, alarm bells ringing. If they're like getting people to sign up to 3-year contracts, they must be thinking, like, as soon as we've got fucking 500 people, we're scarpering. Yeah. You know what I mean?
I know. Look, but when you think about it, like, what are they going to do coming into year 3? And they know that all these people are like, and like, I'm not. Look, I am shitting on construction quality here is poor. I think that's no secret, right? That gym is going to look. It looks pretty good, but they have like leak. There's like anytime it rains, it's basically you might as well be outside. There's like they have to shut down treadmills and fucking shit like that. So like that's after like only 3 months. I sent you pictures of the dressing room where half the ceiling collapsed already, and it looked beautiful when I walked in there originally. Right, it's already fallen apart. Come year 2, not even year 3, that place is going to look like a crack den, and nobody's going to fucking join. So like they have no like, oh, we can keep getting new customers. No, you don't. You have the fucking. You
got the influx of the 3
you got
year
the
guys.
300 morons that joined it when it was nice and fresh and beautiful. You have that money, but when it comes to year 2, you're fucking, unless you keep up the work, which they're not going to do. I can already see nothing's been repaired. Everything, like I even asked them, like, because they have like a hot room in there in the dressing room, and they had like a jacuzzi. They've emptied the jacuzzi thing now. To be honest with you, it never worked. It started growing green algae on top of it.
It's the slippery slope of the gym.
It's already in the decline. But I just know now. I go there every fucking Saturday. Bring my kids there.
Keep going. Get your $6,000.
Get my $6,000 worth. Look, they will be open in 3 years. I'm pretty confident of that. But it will be. Nobody will want to go there. Even I won't want to go there.
Yeah, it'll be like that building that they're at the end of Full Metal Jacket.
And I just like
down.
some simple suggestions to them, like, as I said, leave them, you can bring a guest, but he has to pay like, 40 RMB to use it or whatever, which I think people who don't want to commit to a contract would be more than happy to pay each time they come. They used to have a vending machine with water and stuff. That all of a sudden disappeared. That was a way of them to make income. That's too much effort to fill the fucking vending machine. They could have a fucking juice bar or like, a shop where you can buy like, energy drinks or whatever. Fucking don't do that. They have a very, very pretty girl sitting on the fucking front desk, and the place behind her is just slowly dilapidating into nothing. Like, so it's a bad business model. Like,
yeah. So yeah. I was just about to say, okay, we'll put short-sighted businesses in Room 101, but this is just
a news story.
This is just a news story. Yeah.
But back to OFO, like, look, I'm making a plea. Chinese government ban them immediately, because they are just now running a pyramid scheme. Basically, they're trying to sucker people in to get their friend. Get your friend to pay 99, and we'll give you your 99 back, which is a pyramid scheme, basically, or buy some toilet paper off us and spend 10 grand over the next 3 years, and we'll give you your deposit back. Like, no.
Bollocks, Ofo.
You're done, lads.
You fucked it.
You're done, lads.
Move on. All right, mate.
So episode 21, that was awesome.
In the bag.
Just wanted to say that there's a couple of guests that we're thinking about having on. Danny Duggan is one.
Might be a new section.
Danny Duggan from Boston.
What's Danny doing?
Leonard, or even our mate Leonard. There's a few other people that we're thinking about having on. So
take care, everyone.
Good night.